Presenting Shamik Chakraborty, a stand-up comic.
I asked one guy in the front row, big or small, what do you think? He said, nice ones.
An only child.
When you say you're an only child,
It means I don't have siblings.
And dentally challenged.
Teeth can survive fire, but not chocolate.
And taller than Mohammed Suhail.
Put me in a washing machine and I shrink and Mohammed Suhail comes out. Thanks. Only child's comment, #only.
are you a morning person?
Not at all.
Then why is this podcast happening in the morning?
Because I'm flying out from here directly. This is...
The hate with which I woke up.
You also not at all.
No, not at all. I have never managed to. Do you think creative people generally are like unable to work in the morning? Is it something?
Certainly in the field of creative that I'm in, most comedians, I think, have chosen this lifestyle to avoid the morning. That's the whole thing. That
Why?
we work at night, if we call it work. And then there's an adrenaline rush which keeps you up after the performance for a couple of hours.
Yes.
No one sleeps before 2. 2 is the midnight for a comedian. And even general people don't sleep anymore.
General people, nobody. Have you met anyone who's
No.
very actively saying, "Hey, I'm a morning person.
No.
I like to." Is it that because we are not productive during the day?
I think it's like society has divided and we don't meet each other. Morning people hang out with morning people.
Yes, we've never met them.
Yeah, and when they are done, they are winding down, we are starting our day. And it's great. That's why the world is functioning at this point. It's like
Because we
two
don't meet.
shifts. Those
Yeah,
shifts.
we are the night shift.
Yeah, we are night shift. It's
Oh
like,
yes, nobody ever thought about that. we are the ones that are taking your calls late at night for customer support.
Yeah, I've tried the morning thing. I keep trying every now and then because it's been put in my head by my parents. Like every Indian parent, that morning is when things should be done. But it doesn't happen, man. I just go back to my usual cycle of. I think this started from when I had this anxiety about, oh no, tomorrow is when I had a job. This anxiety of, oh, tomorrow I have to go back to the office. So let today not end and just keep staying up and delaying the sleep.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
becomes a habit, and then you...
Oh my god, fuck. This is the thing that you don't get enough shit done in the day.
Yeah,
And then you think maybe I can like extend 1 hour
yeah.
of my life by staying up. When the stats are saying somebody's phone is vibrating on something, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a drill.
That's
or
a drill.
Some calm chal
That's the Indian ASMR continuous.
Yeah.
No, the Indian white noise. So
Yeah.
the day white noise. And this is also one reason why not to wake up early.
Yeah.
Because you will hear the drill.
Yeah. You don't need to set alarms in India. Someone from your
Somebody's
neighbor's
gonna
house
take-
will wake you up.
Somebody's house is always under construction, and that's next to your house always.
Yeah, and there is no snooze button on this.
Okay, so purposefully, I have not read anything about you.
Amazing.
As a matter of fact, so that I don't have any opinions about you.
Perfect.
Where are you from?
I can now just make up everything.
Fuck.
From Papua New
I will-
Guinea. I'm Papua New Guinea's first comedian. It's nice to be here.
The best looking one from there.
Yeah, and nice to be here. Not enough greenery in this place, but no, I'm from Bangalore, basically. I'm Bengali. I grew up in Bangalore, though. I'm a Bangalore comedian, I would call myself, who now lives in Bombay. So it's been 4 years that I've been in Bombay now.
You now live in Bombay.
Yeah.
And how old were you when you moved?
So basically, I'm 36 now, and I moved 4
Damn,
years
bro.
back. Yeah,
Can
crazy.
we-
Yeah, it's a late. I'm a late bloomer. in
No,
in
it's not
comedy.
that. It's that, did you have that 30-year-old crisis? And are you beyond that?
Yeah, so I think 29. Everyone has an age in their head, I feel, where they're like, now things get real and I'm an adult or I'm getting old, however you want to look at it. For me, when I turned 29, I started panicking. I'm like, 29? I thought by now things would be different. And then once 29 to 30, I was like, oh, okay, I don't feel different. Nothing, physically, I don't feel like I've lost energy or the aches haven't come that I've been told about. Because they came after a couple more years. But I don't feel that stress right now. I think I'm beyond that now? How old are you?
I'm 30.
Okay.
I am having the
You're having
existential
it?
crisis as we speak.
Yeah,
As we
this
speak,
is-
like
this
why am I
whole
here?
podcast is part of that
this is
crisis.
all.
Yeah.
This is my crisis podcast. Like, I'm continuously speaking to people, talking about it. Yesterday, after the shoot, I met someone. I said, "How old are you?" She told me she's 32. I said, "How do you cope with?" This is my whole thing. How do you cope?
Yeah.
This is the biggest disease.
Yeah.
According to me, like
Can I tell you the main coping mechanism which I'm offering you right now is you are hanging out with someone slightly older than you. That used to be how I coped with, because generally I would be like with people who are a few years older. I'm like, oh, at least I've got a few more years till I'm that
he's
age.
still alive.
Yeah, and now slowly you become the older person in the group, and now you serve that purpose for others. So like most of my school life, I was the youngest in my class because I was 1 year earlier. My mom had put me in school, and it was awesome. I used to feel like the baby of the class, and then I changed school, and they said he's too young. They put me in the right year, and suddenly I was the oldest in the class, and I hated that change. So my crisis happened in class 8. So,
Why am I old?
yeah, and
The
at,
oldest 8th.
yeah, and at that age, being older is like you're older by literally 1/8 of your life. So it's like a crazy kind of.
I'm the oldest man in this
Yeah.
class.
I have seen life that these people can't imagine. So I think I'm
You know how
beyond,
long I have been alive?
yeah, I think I'm beyond that crisis point now. But I'm sure there'll be another one around the corner.
I'm sure, like, the real midlife crisis is supposed to be 45, right?
Yeah.
Yes, that is when people actually panic.
Correct.
But 30 has become the new quarter life crisis, basically.
I think so. I think again, sorry, like the obvious thing to talk about is social media and how
yeah, and
it
fucking
bombards
Zepto
us.
guys making it at 19, starting company at 19, making it $1 billion at 23.
I think it's unacceptable.
Yeah,
I think-
they're taking away. My God, the amount of money that you spend on Zepto and
Yeah.
Blinkit. Yes, it's nice. It's
Yeah.
very nice.
Yeah.
We are never going to save enough money.
No.
We are never going to buy a really good house. We are not going to put money in land and property. Why? Because we got Nibu early in the morning
Yeah. Yeah.
for 80 rupees.
Yeah. The day they start selling underwear on quick commerce sites, I was like, it's over, man. Like, I didn't think this move was needed or would happen, and it's happened. And what's left now? I think quick commerce will, like, every time you need to breathe in, they will send you oxygen, and then you breathe out and they'll take it away. That's how it's going to be in the future. But yeah, so tell me what you're feeling with being 30, and I'll tell you how to deal with that.
This is free therapy now.
Free
my
therapy.
whole thing is that basically whoever I thought I would be when I was young, I'm not that person. I did not think, like, I imagined myself to be professionally. I did not imagine I would be here. No, it never pans out, right? Whoever you think you would want to become,
Yeah.
very few people eventually end up being.
Yeah.
And now I've reached a place where I am unable to accept that this is the reality.
Okay. I have no solution.
Yeah, wait, this is the why.
I just wanted to pull that out of you and be like,
And then put it on camera.
there's nothing you can do. No, it's I understand. Personally, I didn't have the exact same problem because I wasn't burdened by the ambition of knowing what I wanted to be. I was just my only aim was, I think somewhere I read this thing about that famous Japanese town where people live till 110.
Oh, yes.
And the main thing they found is, other than diet and genetics, it's stress. They avoid stress, and stress isn't a thing, and it's a mental state of
Yes, you don't have to
affairs.
take stress.
Yeah.
You can say no.
Yeah, so that has always been my goal. Can I become that person? Because I stress about things internally, I think a lot. And so one of those things was my job. And I was like, at least let me get into a field of work where that stress goes away. It's a better kind of stress. And there's a lot of stress in being a comedian, but it's the kind I prefer.
What did you do before becoming a comedian?
Classic.
What age did you become a comedian?
I started at 27, and I was a classic engineer, electrical engineer.
Cool.
Worked as a power systems engineer, proper technical job. And I started doing open mics in Bangalore. Basically, I was in the US. I worked there for 4 years. I did my master's, and then I started working there as an engineer. And I had to come back because of some H1B lottery system. Didn't get it. Didn't want to do a PhD. To just stay there. As you know, Indians, we'll hold on somehow. We won't leave America. we'll make some people make fake universities and put themselves into it in the US, and then they get caught for whatever. That's you can look that up. So then I came back. I started open micing on the side in Bangalore while continuing my job. And this was 2016, so I was 27 when I started. And then slowly I did it for 3 years, and then I took a year off from work.
And was your job lucrative?
It was fairly decent. Yeah, I was earning a good amount of money for a technical role, I would say. I think it's not MBA money, but it was... I was like a deputy manager role they had given me. So I was managing people now, which blew my mind that they gave me that role. But I didn't manage them, honestly. They were just there in my field of vision. I didn't manage anyone.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I remember I had to interview people for roles to work under me, and I couldn't believe that I was doing that. I was like, every person I interviewed, in my eyes I was saying, don't take this job. Which is not the energy you should go into a job interview.
You're not the best spokesperson for the company.
My mouth is saying, why do you think you're right for this role? My eyes are saying, trust me, you don't want this.
Throughout literally.
Yeah. Can you replace me? That's what I was thinking of.
But is it not imposter syndrome? I also have this where after the shoot, I told everyone, the one that I went to, I told everyone that, this was a small shoot, right? And they're like, no, this was massive for us. And I said, but if this was massive, why did you take me? If I was in the shoot, then why was it massive? Then it can't be massive. Is it imposter syndrome?
Absolutely.
And does every creative person have imposter syndrome then? And 30 ke around, does it magnify?
I mean, more than the age thing, I'm not sure about the correlation with age, but I think imposter syndrome is a good thing to have, and the lack of it is a symptom of something much more dangerous, I feel. And imposter syndrome can drive you to be better usually.
Much better than narcissism, right?
Yeah,
I'm the best person in this room.
Yeah, I think narcissism of that kind helps you in work, like where you're on stage a lot. Yes. But that helps you to get through the gate. But once you're out there, that doesn't do much more for you.
People will eventually not like you.
Eventually they
it sort of bleeds.
It. That's the beauty of, I feel, stand-up, and I'm learning this while doing it. Because I've heard about this, but never really believe it until you experience it. That people, an audience, sees who the person is. Within a few minutes, maybe seconds, they can gauge, okay, this person, is this coming from a real place, these words that this person is saying, or is it an act? Can they see that it's an act? And I think almost the job is to not let them feel like it's an act. Feels like a guy just came up and a person just came up and spoke today, and tomorrow they'll say something else.
I like when I think that the stand-up comedian thinks like this. Like, although I know it's a set, but I want to feel as if that this is what he would think or she would think naturally. And maybe if I can feel as if you're forming your thoughts on the stage, I would prefer that. Exactly. Because then I would believe more.
True.
Right?
Yeah.
It's just a weird person. Like, I just want to see, like, you are also like me.
Correct. The person is more, who's saying it is almost more important than what they're saying in stand-up. And many people believe that. And I think I'm slowly starting to see that as true. They ultimately, an audience will come back if they like the persona and who you are and the jokes. They'll automatically like the jokes. If it's coming from the same joke coming from a person you dislike. Sometimes you hate someone and they'd say a good joke and your reaction is not haha. It's like, I wish I had it, or if this guy said it, I would have loved that joke. Coming from this
anything but you.
Yeah, you're just ruining words that are funny.
You used up.
Yeah,
you used up my comedy.
Yeah, waste of a good joke.
So, are you married?
Yeah. No, I'm not married.
My God, you are now my inspiration.
Are you trying to actively get married, or are you?
No, I'm not actively trying to get married, but this is I will not let you deviate from my existential crisis of like turning 30. And this is like a chain of issues that I have. The second one is obviously, and wonderfully so, you've now shown me that we can extend for another 6 years.
Oh, it's not easy, but if you extend it long enough, it's like a bell curve. Slowly, the desperation in your family turns into lack of hope in getting you married. And that's when they slowly get you're off the hook. They're like, I don't think this is happening at this point.
So you delayed long enough, they sort of...
Yeah, I'm not quite there yet, but I'm getting there. I feel they're like, they're not putting the kind of pressure that maybe they were a couple of years ago, but they're still hoping for it.
Did they try to arrange you?
They keep suggesting. It's when I say they, it's mainly my mother. My dad is like, he doesn't really say much about this. But my mom keeps saying we'll arrange something, and I'm like, no, arranged marriage not
And
happening.
why no?
I mean, I just
It's a personal issue,
don't-
obviously.
Yeah,
but
I just don't see. It doesn't make any sense to me personally. I can see arranged marriage as a good option for people. I'm not against it, but I'm not wired to do that. I have to go into it. I have to find the person, if at all.
yeah, this is also something like if somebody else
Yeah.
has to find it for me,
Yeah.
find me a person, I
Yeah.
feel it's like I've done something wrong. Like I should have.
I don't want my parents to be my wingman, basically. No, that's just that's my personal opinion. It's cool. Arranged marriage is awesome. Enjoy. Make your life. That's a way to reduce stress in your life. Someone
So,
else finds someone for you.
Piyush said on the podcast
Yeah.
that for him, marriage is like getting on a train.
Okay.
In love marriage, you get on the train yourself. In arranged marriage, your parents come to drop you off and put you on the train.
Okay.
But either way, you're gonna poop in the same compartment, right? Do you
Wise.
Yeah. Would you say that at some point you will change your mind and suddenly be like, okay, time, mom, hey, what was the list of people? Can you send me the Excel?
But now this analogy has got stuck in my head. I'm just picturing myself as a middle-aged man and my parents putting me on the train. The oldest person being dropped off by parents. Parents who have to be carried home after dropping me. Who can say? All right, who can say? But if I know myself well enough, I don't see it ever happening that way. I'm not opposed to a life where I don't get married. It's not a complete no in my head. I know societal pressures are insane in India to get married. It's like
Yeah, I am the society at the moment.
Yeah.
I am pressuring you.
This is like
All of us are here
this
to
feels like my mum has set this all
Elaborate
up.
setup.
Yeah, this is like
We have gotten the money.
it's a Mission Impossible thing, and you take off your mask, and it's my
Beta.
mom. So I don't. If I can stay strong and fight societal pressure long enough to, I mean, I'm not opposed to. I'll say this: I was vehemently, in a stupid way, opposed to marriage only at one point, and I was like, this is not required. But I'm opening up much more to the idea of like, I'm not against it anymore. I think I can see a life where I'm married. It's just I can't do it in the conventional. I have to get it done. You're this age, so you must be married by this age. All that I
No,
can't.
that pressure sort of, I think that puts a lot of people off.
Yeah.
That you have to do it, so settle for whatever the option is available.
Yeah, and the concept. Okay, maybe this is a bit cynical, but
You're on to something, I know what you're saying.
my friends, I've seen friends who have got married very early, and now they're again. It's like a bell curve, and they're on the way out. Their relationship is falling
It's like-
apart, and every such example makes me think like you can't just jump into something like this. Is a lifelong commitment. So I'm trying to reduce the amount of life left for marriage, so that it's a short-term marriage.
So even if
basically.
the worst marriage, like
Yeah.
by the time it starts
It's
falling
not a
apart, you're already
marriage.
60.
Yeah, I'm 62. This is not a marriage. It's a quickie at this point.
So then why is this generation delaying marriage?
Yeah, I mean, I think...
Why are you, like, I know that
Yeah.
you the
As-
logic is that you will find someone later on, but why?
I think the way I'm thinking, I can't speak for the generation. Okay, I can't be the spokesperson for
You
my
are now.
generation. But if I am, and if I represent these people,
The leader of them.
I think this generation has personal goals and they have relationship goals and they don't necessarily overlap. And everyone wants to get to 85% of their personal goals or where they want to be before jumping into this. Or not everyone, most people who think like this. And that wasn't the case earlier. It was more like you do this at this. You act your age. This statement, act your age, is losing meaning slowly because we don't know what a person of a certain age has to do anymore.
True. Like we thought millennials के बाद चला था कि Gen Z is going to be like very weird and stuff. Gen Z is not weird.
No.
Gen Z is chill.
They're doing pretty good. Yeah.
They're like younger versions of
Yeah.
us only. But Gen Alpha is not.
Yeah, I think the cartoon thing you're saying, it's what the cartoon is competing with that decides how it looks, right? Our generation, cartoon. best thing to watch right now.
Yes.
But right now there are 4 screens next to the
Like
cartoon
watching
screen.
like
yeah.
It's like a trading platform for the kid.
Yeah, and do they even watch this Cocomelon stuff? Is it even like a 20-minute episode? Is it like a 1-2 minute thing and it's
No,
done?
I think it's a 10-minute long video.
Yeah, 'cause
but that loops.
Of course.
Kids loop those videos. Like, so the biggest problem is parents will leave the phone on for a very, very young kid. Like 2-year-old kid is like slowly being hypnotized by a Cocomelon character. Slowly
Crazy.
like capitalistic mentality being put, buy more stuff.
They can only understand Bitcoin. They don't know how currency, real currency. They understand money as Bitcoin.
Our cartoons were much better.
Yeah.
This is my thesis is that the cartoons that we saw in the 90s, the reason why a millennial is slightly different generation as compared to those who did not see is because our cartoons were written by people who were much older than us.
Yeah.
So the cartoons that we got in 90s in India were cartoons written by veterans who after the Vietnam War, after some war, came back to America, were retired, then wrote comedy and added their experiences to it. So the cartoons had much more depth because they were written by like very mature people. And these were, although they were made for kids, they were made in a generation where censorship was not there and stuff like that.
Correct. You could watch it at 2 levels. All of their
you can
cartoons.
still you can still watch our cartoons. You can still watch Tom and Jerry and enjoy it.
Dude.
You will not feel like, oh, this is so too childish.
Tom and Jerry, forever, forever a fan. Any generation, any age, people can enjoy it. No dialogue, universal, independent of language, and just hilarious. Also, for now, apparently a bit risque. Like, they don't show Tom and Jerry to kids anymore because it's promoting violence. Apparently.
How was it promoting violence?
I mean, I feel like
Did you
anyone
ever, as a
can-
kid, saw Tom and Jerry like hurting each other? Like, yeah, I would also do it to my sister.
Yeah, if someone can make that leap, that's a problem to deal with that person because most people cannot make that leap that, oh, I should take a hammer and start hitting my sister now because this cat is trying to hit this mouse. I loved Tom and Jerry because they were enemies, but when required, they would become allies against a bigger enemy. There was some meaning there, like, let's sort out this problem and then go back to our...
Yeah, every time the owner of the house would try to like actually insert somebody else into the conversation. I'm so sorry. Isko ek baar wo kar dena, please, yaar. Silent kar dena. So I ended up being the person. I always thought you hate people having their ringtones on, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's a for comedic effect. I hate all people who. It's more like it's a personal preference. I never have ringtones on. I just feel the call. That's my joke. Like, feel it. Like, you have legs, feel the call. But I think where this joke came from was when I moved back to India and I was working in my technical job, but I was placed in a sales office. I was the only non-sales person in a sales office. And salespeople, their life revolves around calls, and there were only ringtones going off all the time, and I couldn't get any work done, and I was just hearing bhajans ringing, and then sir, yes sir, oh sir. The sir business of a salesperson, just sir, and hang up and then swear at that same person. I was like, that's where the idea came from basically, and I'm like, let's go to a place where no one has ringtones anymore. I think my real feeling is, if you have your ringtone on, make sure it's just a neutral. Make sure I can't tell anything about your personality based on your ringtone. Let's keep it neutral.
Yes, make it neutral.
Don't try to make this like a revelation of who you are,
Make it a company setting.
Yeah, factory order. But yeah, my first thing when I buy a phone, I set all possible sounds go off. You will never speak again. I tell the phone.
Is it like also, before a creative person, your chain of thoughts are very important to you and you don't want like...
Oh, maybe for me it's more of a personality trait I've noticed. I'm just like I'm not I'm like, I don't know where, but I'm like obviously more to the introverted side of the spectrum. The introvert extrovert spectrum. I'm introverted extrovert now, they call them, whatever. I'll take
ambiverts.
Yeah, ambiverts, just to make life easy for everyone. I think I'm that person. I'm in a restaurant, I make sure my conversation stays on my table. I don't want the next table to hear what I'm saying, even though it's not important what I'm talking about. And I can hear everything. I'm hyper aware of what others are saying. So it's the same personality trait. I just don't want to be, if possible, visible for any reason.
The number of people who suddenly want to get into stand-up
Yeah.
is
Oh,
obviously
yeah.
increasing.
Yeah.
As an introvert, how did you make that leap?
Firstly, before I answer that, I really appreciate we need more people like you who say stand-up is tough, I'm not going to do it. Please don't do it. We have enough people. Don't come. Everybody is doing one thing and they do stand-up. Stand-up is like a side quest now for people. No, we have enough frustrated full-time stand-ups like me. Please watch. Don't come. All right? That's if there's one clip you want to, don't come. All right, everyone, all the hate comments are going to come. Isko to aati bhi nahi hai comedy. Kyun nahi ho rahi comedy? But to answer your question, and I've thought about this a lot. Like it makes. If you had asked me pre-comedy, a list of things you will never do, public speaking was one of the top things. I have no interest in public speaking, but I've always tried to. I think maybe it comes from being an only child or something. I've always hung out with imaginary friends and made up jokes in my head and then shared them with real friends. And I've for some reason always in the group, my main contribution has been nonsense and jokes. That was my currency, social currency was that. I'll be the guy who'll do the mimicry of the teacher and never have a serious conversation. And it was becoming a problem. I was never having. I was the Chandler thing of. I really felt that way. I was never having a serious conversation ever. So this was somewhere inside me. I had to channel this, and it's that thought went away because I got a job. I did my regular thing. I was like, the stand up was too far away a thing to even think about. But when I had to move back to India from the US, I had this jaded feeling of I'm moving back and I'm not enjoying my work. At that time, I just looked up stand-up comedy India while I was in the US. And that time, I started seeing what's happening and in a very classic, arrogant way, I was like, oh, I can do this way better than all these people. And that's how you feel until you try it. And you're like, no,
you crying in the corner that Shamik.
No, he hadn't even released his material at that point. When I saw his, I was like, no, this is pretty good. But then I came back to India and I went through a live show. And I went with two friends and I told them I can do this. I will do this. And then 6 months passed and they called me. They're like, what happened? And
when will you do this?
Yeah, when will you do this? I kept delaying it. So I've wrote for 5-6 months, these 5 minutes. And I even now try to think about the day I signed up for that first open mic. I used to just go to Bangalore to these, every day there was a different venue in the city. And you literally write your name on a piece of paper. If you are in the first 15, you get to do 5 minutes and there's a host. If I didn't sign up that day, I would probably never do it. That is the most critical moment for someone with my personality type to make that leap, write your name on the paper. I guess my need to just say jokes and not have faith that someone else can say it the way I want to say it was bigger than my fear of public speaking. So that trumped that. As long as there's jokes involved, I'm happy to speak. Otherwise, I don't want to speak in public. I have no interest in giving a motivational speech with my tone and pattern. I cannot do it. I cannot motivate. If I say motivational words, people take it as sarcastic. That's just how I speak. I had no interest in giving an earnest, serious speech. I will try to do jokes in every situation.
When you say you're an only child.
Yeah.
Right.
It means I don't have siblings.
No. And neither have you killed any of your siblings, right?
No, not that I'm aware of.
So then, not before the traumatic memory loss. But have you then seen other people who have siblings? Have you noticed there's a difference between an only child and people who have siblings?
I think people who have siblings have told me there's a difference. I didn't personally notice. I think you have a weird imagination as an only child because you're always alone directing movies in your head. That's what my childhood was. I was at home thinking of scenarios where I am the written by Shamik, directed by Shamik. I was like, auteur. I was doing all of it. I was the lead. I was the villain. I was everything. So you just spend a lot of time in your head, I think, as an only child. And that I don't know how that process is and how that translates to someone else. But I think what happens is people find out you're an only child, and then later whatever you do, they
Sort of put this on.
They fit it and
Yeah,
say
I'm that
because you're
person.
only child.
Yeah, I'm that person.
You are that person.
Yeah, I'm that person. I'm everything that you think is stereotypical about the society. I have a little bit of that.
You are not an only child.
No, I have a elder sister.
Elder sister.
Yeah, so then I have whole theory ki like, okay,
Yeah.
they have the younger sibling behaves like this, the older sibling.
Yeah.
It does change you in a way. I read this research and I think I was agreeing with this research that people who grow up with sibling, the younger sibling continuously has to fight with the older sibling. There's always fights. Two kids will fight, right?
Sure.
So then at least if nothing else, at a very young age, you get used to having a discourse with someone of your age at home continuously.
Yeah.
Because siblings, you will not fight that much in school, right?
Yeah.
But you will fight with your sibling.
Absolutely.
So one thing that is 100% different between an only child and somebody who grows up with siblings is that the only child is not fighting that much with someone of their age. Now, how does it shape you? Has different effects. So I don't think we should stereotype and say कि अच्छा इसकी वजह से ये हो जाएगा.
No, yeah, but I can see two things right away. One is you learn to deal with conflict better. An only child, that outlet is not there.
Yes.
So, and the other thing, which I know this is true because other people with siblings have said, and you probably agree to this, is you have, if required, like the Tom and Jerry thing, sometimes you have an ally where you can combine forces and maybe fight back against something your
The
family
parent,
does.
yeah.
It's 2 versus 2. Whereas here you are always alone in this battle. So there is a degree of like lone wolf sort of mentality that, and everything that comes my way, I'll be self-sufficient. I'm not just an only child. We're a very nuclear family. So cousins are all far away. We lived away from, like, grew up like pretty much only child in every sense of the word. So there's a lot of that. You don't realize you can collaborate. You're rarely the person reaching out for the collaboration. I realize I'm like always happy to collaborate, but usually if I analyze it, someone else has asked me and I'm like, oh damn, yeah, this was also an option. We could combine forces. But that's one thing.
You also
definitely.
did not see, the only child never sees variable treatment by the primary caregiver. So
there's only one.
All your
data
experience.
point.
Your parents treated you whatever way they treated you. They could have been good to you. They could have been bad to you. But regardless of this, you never saw the difference.
Correct.
Whereas every sibling will see that I am treated differently.
Correct.
By whosoever is in power, and somebody else is being treated differently.
A sense of injustice.
Yes.
Or
the sense of entitlement, either way.
Yeah.
But you never see that, right? As a
No.
young child, as a only child.
Yeah, that's true. I don't know how that plays out, but you're
Yeah,
right.
it does play out.
Yeah.
Something, see, I know this is not like a pure science. It's pseudo-science category.
Yeah.
Very relatable
Yeah.
Content creator material, right?
Oh, yeah,
This
yeah,
research is
that
done for people like us. Like, how can, we can make reels now.
It keeps us busy. And all the only child's comment hashtag only or some bullshit like that.
The number of shares that you will get.
Bam. I had this bit about, like, when I told my parents I'm going to do stand-up, they didn't say, please don't. They said, you can't. And like, I'm not capable. I'm like, no, I can. And they're like, no, you're an only child. You can't. And the joke was, obviously they didn't say it this way, but their logic was, you're an only child. These things a younger sibling can pursue.
Yes.
When the older sibling does what the parents want them
Yes.
to do. Which is a common thing, right? You would have seen the older sibling is chartered accountant, younger sibling is DJing or something. So you see that a lot.
Podcaster.
Yeah, podcaster. Probably your sister has a regular...
She's a
Plus,
professor.
There you go. So the joke I had was, like, I told my parents, okay, all these years, I was the older child. I was engineer, did everything you need. Now I'm giving you 2 children for the price of 1. What a son. And they didn't play well with them. I'm like, think about the older child. He is still in US working, but younger child is now pursuing the arts. But
Parents are worried these metaphysical arguments are happening between.
Yeah, there's no winning in that argument. Okay. Also, you can't blame me for me being an only child. You are the parents.
You are also to blame.
You had all the, you could have made this not the case without getting too far down that lane. But But that's the only child's burden.
Or is it because they saw you and they said, no, we don't want any more of this?
That's
There's
the
a risk.
classic. Yeah.
What if we make more of him?
I look at it the other way, which is my bit, which is they saw me, they saw my face. They're like, this guy is, we nailed it. He'll do whatever we ask him. This guy is like 5 fixed deposits type of person, safe, secure. And they messed up. Don't judge a book by its cover, basically. So it could be either way.
You hate dentists as well?
Dentally, I've had a lot of issues. So I grew up with this dental thing, this trauma, which I processed through stand-up. And a lot of, I put out some bits about that, which is, I guess, why you bring it up. And a lot of dentists have found it relatable and funny. So I appreciate them. Obviously, some people have...
No, there's a dental organization slowly forming around.
Yeah.
What is Shamik? Why is he blamed?
Yeah, there is one reel I put out which literally... I didn't know there are these many dentists on earth. The number of dentists that have shared it from all over the world. It's like the reel is traveling through. I can see which country it's in. It's in the US right now, that reel. It's trending there. And India has seen it and moved on. It's like doing a world tour. I'm here, but my reel is doing a tour right now. And it's amazing. But mostly it's supportive because people see the humor in it. I have a bit about how like they show you x-rays like we don't know what we are seeing, and that's not even, I'm sure many other people have had that thought, but it's true. Like
I don't understand.
Yeah,
that is why I came to you.
I'm seeing through the x-ray. Like there's another dentist on the other side. I can't even, but you nod because you're like, yeah, this is my teeth. Yeah, this is what I have. This is what I've been given.
Fix it.
Yeah, it's been a tough. As a kid, I remember my dentist told me you have very deep grooves in your teeth, and I took that as a compliment. And then she said that's why food gets stuck there, and you'll have to keep coming back all your life. So I said just flatten them. I don't need these grooves. And she's like, no, that we are not allowed to. Ethically, I can't just flatten all your teeth. So yeah, this battle will go on for life. I need dentists. I love what they do for me and for the society in general. But I hope you understand my jokes are a way for me to process my problems. And dentists are not really being blamed in any of the jokes.
I think a city can be gauged by how the auto wala treats you or the taxi wale bhaiya treats you. In that context, could you tell me the difference between Bangalore and Delhi that you observed?
So I'll start with Delhi because we are here and it's fresh. Literally an hour ago, I experienced a beautifully Delhi trip. Like I'll say this, like this guy had a 4.7 rating, and which is not a high rating. It's not super low. And I saw why he has the rating on the trip here. It was the correct. He is a 4.7, this guy. And I'm not judging. I am a 4.7 customer. So I understand the type. This guy was driving, and this is a common Delhi experience I found, that I think in Delhi is not a cab thing. This is a Delhi thing. Every Delhiite, or most of them, have main character energy. Everyone's got a song in their head playing like a Shubh or a Diljit song, and they are in the spotlight. And in Bangalore, so everyone's driving like this, and this guy forgot, he zoned out that he has a customer. He was like doing a drift. It was Fast and Furious Saket drift, and I was in it. He didn't give a shit about me, and he was singing and driving loudly. Yes. And every time he's singing, he had a video also. He was watching the video. He was not watching the road. He was gauging by peripheral vision. He was driving. And sense of smell or something. I don't know how he was driving. And he was singing, and every time he was singing, the video was buffering. So then suddenly only he was singing. And then he was annoyed that he's moved ahead of the song and then pausing. It was a beautiful experience. Basically, driving was the fifth thing he was focusing on. And so Delhi has been always entertaining in terms of cab rides. I've been in 2 accidents in Delhi, auto and cab, and I've totally been in Delhi in my life maybe 30 days. So that conversion rate is insane if you think about it. The aggression is undeniable. It's in the city.
One
Everyone
in one
has
people
it.
are likely to have an accident in Delhi.
Delhi is your weather is aggressive. I got slapped by the heat when I stepped out. Like Bombay is hot, but Delhi heat just hits you. Like it just gave me it's that Lou came and just hit me the moment I stepped out of the airport. Yeah, so I understand. Bangalore is more like because I've spent a lot of time. I've done enough material about this, but it's a gift that keeps on giving. Bangalore has become a place where the cab driver or the auto driver just treats you like, who do you think you are? Like, I have plans already. If I can fit you in my plans, I will. And if I'm going in that direction, I'll consider taking you. If there's one U-turn required, I'm out. You are on your own. I'll take you till the furthest point in this direction because I'm going there. And then you figure out the next. Like there's an entitlement which is almost symptomatic of development. I feel people are now taking their lives seriously. They're like, I am important. I've got my own plan.
This is your job. You have to drop me.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to. I want to take a positive. I'm done cribbing about it, man. You have to see the positives. People are just, Bangalore has this Namma Yatri, which is our own app for autos.
Okay.
You are taking Uber autos is almost impossible now. You have to get on Namma Yatri because that app, the money goes directly to the driver.
Okay,
They've removed the middleman. I don't know. I think they have programmed it themselves. It's coded
let's
by
work on
auto
this.
drivers, for auto drivers, by auto drivers. And it's, Bangalore is just, it's not the same level of danger you don't feel while you're inside the cab as you do here.
But it's because the traffic is so much that there is no...
Yeah, you've never hit those speeds only.
Yeah,
it's life passes in a cab in Bangalore. I would say a lot of my material doing stand-up early years, it came during the journey to the venue because I would spend...
so much time.
Yeah, 1 hour. I would never work on stand-up before the cab journey because I'm like, I have 1 to 1.5 hours to cover this 2-kilometer distance. That movement is important. In Delhi, you don't come to a standstill. You move. And the sense of progress is always there. Bangalore, you stay in one place and you can think about stuff. You can listen to podcasts. You can finish this whole episode in a 2-kilometer journey in Bangalore.
Let me go from there to randomly something that I had in the mind before. Pehle पूछना था मुझे, but then that sort of opportunity went away when you were talking about crowd. Is there a difference between, for a stand-up crowd, do you see difference between the male audience and the female audience when it comes to being responsive?
I'll say this, and I've verified this internationally now.
Research
with over 2 countries. This is true. That's the max I can give you. Because I spoke to this British comedian and he agreed with me. For live stand-up, at least it's not probably true for everyone, but my experience is women drive the economy of stand-up. Because if women come to your show, they will bring other women and men. Men don't bring anyone. Men are individuals who come who are like, I'm better than this bastard, which is how I used to go also too. I'm judging myself as well as you, my kind. So men, unless you can, like, there are some comedians who have that vibe, like Samir and I know, like they really create like a boys club vibe where like they're the leader of this college mess right now. I don't have that pull. So for me personally, and this is true of many comedians, women drive the economy. They bring people and they are supportive. They share that this was a good show. Men are like, yo.
Men don't share. We are not programmed to... Like our emotions. So women are blamed for being emotional.
Yeah.
But it's men who are like far more emotional. We just don't express. So women express more.
Sure.
They are tagged as emotional.
Yeah.
Men, we hold...
Yeah.
Like we have anger. Like we have very little, like, like flat or like we're very angry.
Yeah, it's all in the surface but this is what I'm saying is about who drives the economy of stand-up. Once you're in the show, I mean, honestly, I don't. So I don't
Like
even
crowd work wise, who's more responsive? Are men giving, or is it 50-50?
No, I don't see a big difference. Once they're in the show, it's the level of enthusiasm is very similar.
Very similar.
At the end of the show, often you'll hear the woman saying, "I brought him," and he was not sure, but he liked it.
He liked
and
it.
He stopped watching the cricket match halfway through and started focusing on your jokes, which is a great compliment. But yeah, I don't see a big difference in the way they respond. No, it's the same, more or less. Yeah. Lull in the conversation. What's your next question?
My next question will now become shorts.
Hmm.
Like I've reached the point in the conversation
Damn.
where I want shorts. I came here for the shorts.
Wow.
I have much material, but see the thing is, when we write the questions, initially we think, oh, these are good questions. But then suddenly when it is time to ask, it becomes very lame.
Go for it.
No, but it does. It's like, have you noticed the rise of cat dads? Like, what the fuck is this question?
Yes. There's your short.
It's a very short shot.
5-second short. If you can make this one viral, we'll really learn something about the algorithm.
But it's true. So basically,
Cat dads.
more men are now suddenly
Yeah.
the uprise of men adopting cats is something that we are noticing a lot.
Yeah.
आज से 5 साल पहले 10 साल पहले you would not see a lot of men
Yeah.
going for cats.
I think it just makes sense because cats, it's a natural coalition, men and cats, if you think about it, because cats can be left alone and they can do their own thing and they can ignore you. You can leave the house, they'll be fine. They don't really need to step out. It's best pet
Yeah.
in that sense.
Also for a bachelor, I think the best
Yeah.
pet is also because
Yeah.
bachelors getting dogs is like the worst decision. You are not going to be there to take care. This is like getting a dog is like getting a very attached child.
Yes, yes.
Who needs a lot of maintenance.
Yeah.
I think parents in India are the best dog parents, like to adopt dogs, right?
Yes.
The best person to get.
They can give you full attention.
Yeah,
That's why those reels.
The
viral.
development of the dog is
Yeah.
holistic.
Yeah, absolutely.
also-
As far as dogs are concerned, India is like a first world country. Like this is the country you want to be a dog in.
इसका क्या मतलब? Give me more.
Do what you will with that statement. All kinds. Whether you want to be coddled and taken care of if you're that kind of dog, or you want to be on the streets and like just live your life. Both kinds of dogs are living it. In Delhi, I love that the societies really take care of the dogs with the sweaters and everything.
Yes.
I love that. That's so cool.
People are.
Yeah.
This is a nice thing that people. Do you enjoy then? Because it's not just this is what I'm getting from you.
Yes.
It's not about the thing that you are not married. This is not beyond the joke. I think we should I don't want to be the person who sort of stigmatizes you.
Sure.
For,
Thank you.
right. It was good for the laugh, but
Yeah, society does enough. You don't have to add to it.
And I am the society.
Yeah, you are.
I was sponsored by this
Society.
podcast is sponsored by society.
Paid partnership with society.
Samaj.
Not the tea brand. Society tea.
This could be a very good,
Yeah.
like a very nice society brand, tea
Perfect
brand,
plug.
right? And then this is all Samaj pressure.
Yeah.
There's people drinking chai and putting pressure on younger
Yeah,
people.
why have they not
Fuck
done
yeah,
this yet?
this
If
is
you guys want to get on board,
brand opportunity.
please call us both. We'll do this podcast.
No, so
Yeah.
not to put any stigmatic pressure on you,
Sure.
but generally, then are you the kind of person who enjoys being alone?
Yeah, I'm pretty happy in my own company. I'm trying to this year I'm trying to read again, which is really a really weird thing to say. I'm trying to read again, but I'm getting back to books, and it's really helping.
The
dude.
opportunity for recommendations have come back.
Man. Yeah, I'll definitely do that. I just want to say, it's a way to get off screens, the classic thing.
Yes.
And just I feel like a part of my brain which had not been used for years is like the dust has been wiped off and it's being used again. And you can literally feel different parts of your brain working at the same time.
How do I read? How do I read more than one page?
Yeah, and just being in silence is an amazing feeling. So to answer your earlier question, I remember once I was living in Nashville, Tennessee at the time in the US, and there was an ice storm, and there's usually not snow or ice in that part of America. So when it happens in such a part of America, things shut down and you are just indoors. So I was indoor for 3-4 days because of the ice storm. And then when they unlocked, society opened up, I stayed for 3-4 more days. So that's should tell you like how comfortable I am in my own company. But books are really helping me focus again on things.
I think reading is again one very millennial thing as well, because when we were younger, internet was not.
I don't think books are a millennial thing.
No.
I don't think we created reading.
No, we did not.
Let's not claim reading as ours.
Let's claim as much as possible.
Like before
we
us,
will not leave anything for Gen Z.
Before us, there were no words on paper.
No, but are we not the one of the last generations?
We are holding on to the
no,
idea.
but think about it this way: the amount of media that can buffer in an instance right now, and I'm 100% sure you remember YouTube when it did not buffer well.
Yes.
Right. So then,
what a way to call me old, but okay. Yeah.
Because me also.
No, absolutely.
But it was slightly
Nice
faster.
save, yeah.
I had Edge.
Yeah.
I did not 3G, but I had like Edge and GPRS. Right?
Damn. GPRS.
That's fast.
Those
shit.
letters in that order I've not heard in so long.
2G and 2.5G.
Yeah.
One song, MP3.
I remember the time where G was just a mark of respect to people.
No, 3G was a big, like I remember 3G coming and stuff like that. And the
Yes.
point being ki, now that you have access, now
Sure.
that the kids have access to like, if, think about it this way, just take the human brain and how lazy we are internally.
Yeah.
If given the option a child has from day one that you can watch movies and Netflix and all of those things, right at the instance.
Yeah.
Think about it this way. Pre-Netflix.
Yeah.
You could not watch a movie which
Yeah.
you hadn't watched in the theater and was gone.
There was no
There's no option other than getting CD and all of those things. But there was no quick option. It's not like I'm sitting Saturday, I think, I want to watch this movie and I can immediately watch.
Yes.
There was a process.
Yes.
You go to the store, you get.
Yeah.
So is this generation not like rigged to not read then?
It is. I see what you mean. And I also
This is the most difficult entertainment. So reading is the most difficult entertainment.
And I'll say I'm one of those irritating purists who like I don't even like to read on a reader like a
No, I get it.
I want I don't want a Kindle. I want to smell the book when I read it, feel the page, and that feeling of ownership I want, which is, if you were talking about DVDs and CDs, even though that's gone, at least it was yours. Now it belongs to Netflix, and you see it if Netflix allows you, and then it takes it away. Going away soon. That sense of ownership is gone with all kinds of entertainment. So I am this year like buying books again. I'm like, just stop thinking of it as impractical. I spent 500 rupees on Swiggy like this, and then when I have to spend that on a book which I can keep
Suddenly
for
I'm
life.
saving money.
Yeah, it's like.
What book are you reading?
So right now I'm reading. I've got into science fiction a lot because my flatmate just had science fiction books lying around, and I'm like, this is where I start reading again. So this book Hyperion, which is one of the greatest science fiction books of all time, they say.
Give me like a quick elevator pitch so that I can start.
Hyperion, I'm just like 100 pages into it, but it's set up. The setup is beautiful. Hyperion is a planet. There are 6 people chosen to do like a pilgrimage to this place, this time temple it's called. It's a mysterious thing. Why are they doing the pilgrimage? We don't know yet. But there is a demon type creature. It's called the Shrike, and it just causes pain and death, and it's expected to show up at some point in the story. But the way it's structured, each of these pilgrims tells their story, and why they have been chosen comes out through that. So it's kind of divided into 6 short stories, you can think about it, and each one apparently is written in a different genre style, so you get a nice mix of styles. So I've just read the first.
And does this all converge at the end?
We'll find to be revealed.
Fuck.
If you want other book in science fiction, I just read one of my favorite books of all time now is Kurt Vonnegut's The Sirens of Titan, which is a science fiction book again. It's like a 250 page book or 200 page, and it covers so much ground in that time. It blows my mind that we can go to 4 planets and have
It's a
proper
250-page book. Matlab ki
Done.
this is more like a week worth of
It's
reading.
almost a novella, but it's so
I
well
love
written.
them.
Yeah.
At least you can finish them.
Yeah, it's a great way to get back into reading the shorter books, right? And this is one of the best written books. There's no fluff. Every line is amazing.
Again, give me elevator pitch.
Um,
If you
there's it's like, when you read a book and it's been 2 months and it's already fading from your head. But the idea is there is a man who there's a lot of time travel and sort of wormhole type funda in this book. There's a man who appears on Earth once every, I forget the days, 56 days. And it's become an event. Everyone sees him for an hour or so and he disappears again. And he comes on one of those appearances and he tells the protagonist about what his life is going to be for the next. So he sets up that you will go to this planet, then this planet, this will happen. And you know that in the beginning of the book. And then you follow his, you trace those steps with him. That's all I'll say about it. It's just...
No, it's 250 pages anyway. We don't want to ruin it.
It's Kurt Vonnegut, one of the greatest authors ever. He wrote Slaughterhouse-Five, which is one of the most famous books. It's also an amazing book. Just amazing writing, witty, cynical, dark, but yeah, fantastic. I also read this history book, which is Indian Summer, which is a famous book about basically Indian partition through the lens of Mountbattens and Nehru, basically the three of them. The Lord Mountbatten, his wife, and Nehru, Edwina Mountbatten and Nehru. And it's just it's about partition, but through the eyes of these protagonists, basically.
Is there a new perspective than the general perspective that you already know about partition? Did you?
No, I've just never delved into it since school, basically. History was taught to me, and I just remember the bullet points of Gandhi and the movements. But here you get, I hope, a neutral and balanced perspective.
As well.
Yeah, you get to see people as people, which is, I think, you can do in books. I think in popular media, it's tough because these figures are, you know, they bring so much baggage with them, talking about a Nehru or someone. In a book, because not enough people read, I suppose, you have the luxury of delving deep into these people as who they were. There is like a lot about Mahatma Gandhi, but it's not all Mahatma. It's just as a person. You learn about
this person making like decisions as
it's a three-dimensional person, and you see the good and the bad.
Are you also into like the kind of reading that you're doing? Are you also into dystopia and stuff?
I'm getting
like
into
1984
it.
And
sure, I've read 1984. I think I got into science fiction now, and I'm now trying to balance it out because you can get stuck in this dystopian negative mindset and be like, because it will always blow your mind. My favorite films or my favorite books, I've noticed, there is a cynical edge to them, and I'm like, you don't always have to, it doesn't always have to be doom. And like, if you ask me a favorite films, I'll say Taxi Driver, I'll say Chinatown. Have you watched Chinatown?
No.
Network, which is an amazing film, 1975 or 4. All of these films are satirical or dark, or they end in some sort of disaster.
Seems like a you problem.
Yeah, so this thing of, wow, this is a mind-blowing work. Often I've noticed, and sorry to just gender this, I feel with men, we gravitate towards the dark.
Yeah, the dark.
Mind-blowing. It messed me up. The Black Mirror obsession.
Yeah.
Oh, it'll mess you up.
Yeah.
I love limited series. Like Chernobyl was one of the best ones. It's so well made. I think that's one of the best. I call that horror. Like, I'm not a horror buff, but that to me is horror. Like, done right. The horror of a real life incident like that.
It was very well shot, very well made.
So good. I just watched the show, The Rehearsal. Have you watched The Rehearsal?
No, I'm not.
I think it's the most insane comedy show. I'd recommend it highly. It's Nathan Fielder, who's a really funny Canadian. He had the show called Nathan For You, which you should definitely check out. One of the funniest shows ever made. There are clips on Comedy Central. I'll tell you the premise of that show first. He's a MBA graduate. He says, I graduated with amazing grades, and it'll be like C- and B+ on the screen from one of the top universities in Canada, and it's some unknown university. And what he does is he goes to failing businesses in the US, and he comes up with outlandish ideas to make them profitable again. And he became famous because he went to a coffee shop opposite Starbucks and he said, we will use parody law to name your shop Dumb Starbucks. And it became viral and he made it profitable and Starbucks sued, I think. But parody law allows you to do that. So he took the Starbucks symbol and added one thing. Same color scheme, same everything, but Dumb Starbucks. So he just it's very funny because it's real people's reaction. The owner of the shop establishment usually hears the idea and they're like, what? And then they cut to his voiceover saying, Susan was thrilled with the idea, and then he starts the whole thing.
I understand now. I
funny.
love this type of comedy.
Super funny,
right?
super smart.
Yeah.
Must check it out. But the Rehearsal is a show right now. I don't want to say any more about it. Just check out the Rehearsal. It's on Hotstar. Like, it's a new way to do comedy, which is a lot to say. You don't see something truly innovative anymore, and it also has it's insane budget for a comedy show. What can you do when you give a lot of money? When a network like HBO gives all their money to a person and says, do whatever you want with it.
Now I'm intrigued. This is truly, out of all the recommendations, this is the one that intrigued me the most. I want to do a little bit of very quick breakdown because I don't want this to be just a fun podcast because
Why not, man? What's your problem?
The least paid category. You want?
I'm just checking.
Yeah. What is the time, by the way? 12:40. We have a little bit time. 1 tak kar lenge, na?
Yeah. You can. I basically 1:30. I would like.
Yeah, I know. So, we have a timer behind me.
Perfect.
It's like a bomb waiting to go.
Oh yeah. We can go a bit beyond if required. Not a problem.
Okay. So very quickly, because podcasters get paid more if it's an info podcast. You are more likely to paid more in the sense you're more likely to get a sponsor if it's an info podcast.
Amazing.
So the way we are tricking everyone is that we will, no matter what conversation we have, we'll do a little bit career stuff and they're like, yeah, info podcast, yes.
Okay.
Right. So first is for someone who's new to, because you're a full-time stand-up comedian, right?
Sure.
So this is your job, this is your career.
Yeah. I mean, I write and I do stand-up. I do other stuff.
So the point being that
I'm not a full-time. I write things.
Cut this part. So we have a full-time comedian here who only does this, nothing else.
You're going to use AI and make me say yes when I said no.
Suddenly Snape will come and say,
I have 6 fingers and one tooth is joined in the middle. Yeah.
We can. We have enough footage now to turn him into an AI character.
Well, this is what so I'll be a recurring guest and I won't know it also. What? There's a new episode with me? Damn.
Okay. So can you break down the styles of different comedians?
Okay.
So that people can understand is what kind of comedy should I pursue? Obviously, I think your general recommendation will be do what comes naturally to you. So we are trying to understand different comedy styles. What would be yours?
Okay. Mine, I guess if there's one thing which will come up a lot when you talk about my comedy or people talk about it, they say deadpan. I'm definitely a deadpan comedian.
Yes.
My face stays more or less like this most of the show. I do display anger and other emotions, but most of the time I deliver with this expression. So I think people who like deadpan comedy, you could call it niche, but it's becoming a bigger sort of genre in India now. People are understanding it. I think a lot of what happens because comedy is still quite stand-up comedy in the Western sense is quite new in India. Earlier it was the culture of you can just say other people's jokes, street jokes you could call them. And now it's more like you write your own material. People understand, okay, plug the salad. So I would say what's happening now is people are understanding what stand-up is, and as they're learning different ways of doing it, one of the ways is earlier, the first thing that happens is people assume, okay, this person will stress on the punchline, so this is where you laugh. I would say that's the main thing I don't do. I don't tell you, because I don't indicate with my emotions, this is where you should laugh. You have to figure it out. It will stay like this. It might seem to you boring, it might not be your style, but if you listen to it, you eventually learn the rhythm of every comedian and you'll see, okay, this is where you laugh. And honestly, I don't care where you laugh where you want to laugh. Yes. So deadpan comedy, definitely I would classify. My observational is the biggest, type of stand-up.
Can you give me example of 2-3 more people who do deadpan so that people can understand a little bit more?
Does it? You want Indian examples specifically?
Indian examples preferred. Is Mohammed Suhail also doing?
Sure, Mohammed Suhail would be deadpan. For
Deadpan,
sure.
right?
He keeps his expression. He's just he looks like a smaller version of me. It's like you put me in a put me in a washing machine and I shrink and Mohammed Suhail comes out. Same glasses.
Or like
everything.
just push you down. And
Yeah, just a compressed version. Mini, 5 rupees pack. Fun size. Right? 10 rupees packet, 5 rupees packet. But very funny guy. Suhail is definitely a deadpan comic. I'm trying to think. Shrija Chaturvedi, if you know, she's quite
she's also
deadpan.
very deadpan, yeah.
Yeah, so...
But she's like a more, like even
yeah.
the deadpanist of
Yeah.
all deadpans.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
of her slow delivery, I think
Sure.
it becomes even more like...
Correct. There is a sense of which like her delivery is also little like there's a rant element to it, but
Yeah.
very
Very
slow and
very calm rant.
Yeah,
like,
calm rant.
The angriest calm person.
Yeah, yeah, fair. One example, I know you said Indian, but the one which came to me immediately was Stephen Wright, who's an American comedian. You can look up Stephen Wright. He's like the ultimate deadpan comic. He's a one-liner comedian, deadpan. He just looks like a guy who just showed up he's like unkempt, his hair is not cut properly. He just comes out and says things in a drone. And but really, usually a deadpan comic you will find have slightly, I don't want to use this word to be fair, but people classify it as intellectual humor. It's not really intellectual. It's just that when you're doing that kind of comedy, you have to impress purely with your
Knowledge and material.
with your turn of phrase and stuff. So usually there'll be a lot in the language because your expression is staying like
For
that.
some reason, I've seen the deadpan comics do end up using a lot of like a lot of worldly information sort of helps, because you have to also, I think for a deadpan comic, the problem that I see is that you also have to then maintain, because you don't have punchlines, so you also don't have the whatever the opposite of a punchline is, ki like dead scenes.
No, we have punchlines. You do.
No, you have.
punchlines.
Matlab, mera point being,
No, as in, it's not, the energy is not indicating this is the setup, this is the punchline.
Yes.
There is still setup punchline. A lot of my jokes
so
are setup punchline.
denser material. For some reason, when I see a deadpan comic, I also see dense material.
Yeah, probably fair. I think it's a combination, the personality type and everything. Usually a deadpan comic is a person who just stays on their, can be a loner, can be with their own thoughts a lot. And that's where the humor is, it comes from. Having said that, you don't plan these things. I realized when I put out the jokes, many things get views because people are really finding it relatable. I never aim to be relatable. I just aim to do what I find funny. And some of it is coming out as, we all have the classic, I thought I'm the only person living
the
this
comment.
experience.
That's
Everyone,
a big validation, by the way.
Yeah.
Right. So, Samay, what would he be?
Samay is also, I think Samay does obviously the broad category is like he does a lot of dark humor, I suppose. What does Samay do? He does, it's observational bits only mainly. So I will say I'm not very good at classifying these things, but one thing is observational comedy, to define that, is where the comedian is just seeing things around and may not be in the joke themselves, may or may not be. It's not required that you lived that experience. It's more like, have you seen this? The Seinfeld is the
and that is the difference between then Basi, where his
Basi
stories are
often anecdotal. It's
story.
what happened to you, which is anecdotal is huge in India because we know anecdotal. It's the way we've communicated things throughout. Like Basi's that video about hostel. That's that's kind of comedy that we've all sat in the hostel and done stories about.
His TAM is much larger, like the total addressable market.
Sure.
With this format, right?
And also, what's happened is like now in my shows, I used to just be purely joke guy. But now in my show, the second half of my show is one story. And I never set out to write a story. It's just something happened to me and there was enough comedy in it. And I could mine enough out of it. So what I'm finding now with stories is people give you a longer rope to, like, you can go a couple of sentences without a punchline because now people are invested. It's a story. It's what's going to happen next. So the rhythm can change, and if a story has a strong hook, they are with you for longer. Whereas a bit where they can tell this guy does setup and now the punchline is coming, they learn your rhythm very soon, the audience, and then they can check out if you don't mix it up. Comedy is a bit of a battle of keeping them interested.
I know. Okay, yeah. They'll be able to predict and say if you don't deliver.
Yeah, so sometimes comedians, and we all go through this phase, or many of us, that I'm really funny for these people for 10 to 15 minutes, sometimes 20 minutes, sometimes 30 minutes. But around the 40-minute mark, they are checking out because you can't feed that muscle anymore for the audience. They have laughed out how much they came to laugh. Now what? What are you giving me now? So you have to mix it up at that point in time. But I will say none of this is, and this is why it's tough to give advice on this. Stand-up is the most immediate of the, if you want to call it an art form, it's you and the audience, immediate feedback loop. It's so everyone brings their own sort of mindset and approach. I don't want to say reading the book won't work, because I know like Abhishek Upmanyu, who I speak with sometimes about comedy, just whenever I've got the chance, he's very good at using what he's read, I feel, in books, and it works for him. He knows how to apply it. He's very clear on what is needed in the joke and what's not needed. He's very quick to edit things down. He works that way very well. I just have never tried it. Maybe I've always been like, let's see what happens. But that's a longer way to fix a joke. I feel it takes longer to get to the chiseled, perfect joke.
It takes you longer to then sort of perform and process the joke.
Yeah, I would think so. But
this is what I'm learning about comedians, that as you perform the joke, it gets better throughout the...
Yeah, it usually does. And I mean, this is old, not my thought. Louis C.K. said that it's like it's got a fruit-like quality, like a joke. It gets really ripe and then it starts rotting because you said it too much. And now the words don't mean anything to you.
How long did it take for you that you realized now I can make a living out of it and all of those things?
It's taken a long time. I mean, depending on how you look at it. In general terms, in the US, they say 10 years, so you just do comedy and then you start like really finding an audience. 10 years you work on you find your voice, if you will.
Yeah, but we only care about the how did you make financially?
So I started in 2016.
Yes.
And I would say it was only 2023 to 24, honestly, last year, where I started feeling like I can make a living from doing stand-up. And again, I don't just do stand-up, I do brand work, writing for brands, and so I like that also, doing writing work. So
but could you then give me a percentage split of your revenue? How much percent comes from stand-up living wise?
I can tell you only for last year, when like there was real money coming in. It was close to 50-50 last year.
Brand work was 50 and
then brand and writing, where I'm in the brand work, and writing I'm combining in one thing, and stand up 50%. That's where it's at, I would say right now. I'm still learning where that number is going to go, but that's how long it took me to answer your main question to get to that place. Everyone's going to experience it differently. Bassi, I think, is the fastest person who went from starting out to huge success. It happened I think he started in 2017, and in 2019
he was very massive. Huge. Very quickly he was very massive. I'm 100% sure.
I think after Bassi became huge, a lot of people came into comedy and tried to replicate that.
Yeah, because iske pehle everyone thought ki okay, 10 years are going to go into it, and a lot of people were discouraged by it.
Sure.
But to see someone succeed that quickly,
it's a huge motivation for people. But then when you tried, that's the beauty of it. You can't fake it. If it doesn't happen, it won't happen. You can't force. There is no one formula to become funny. You can do it once or for a short time, but ultimately, if this is a career, if this is this is a marathon. If you want to stay in it, you have to constantly evolve. You have to be a better version of the comedian you are.
We've reached the sad part of the podcast. Right?
Basically,
there's no hope left.
I mean, asking a comedian if there's hope is difficult. Like, we are not we are the cynics of society, I feel. So there is no hope.
This is the best This is the best way to end the podcast.
No.
This is the best.
There is hope.
We end it now.
No.
Guys,
We don't end it there. This is again going back to watching too much negative stuff. There is hope. There is always hope. Hope is not a dangerous thing.
Remember where to cut.
Damn, I thought I forgot to plug anything.
You please, if you have.
Yeah, so when do we know roughly when this will come out?
4 weeks. 4 weeks.
It'll come out in a month. Roughly.
Yeah.
So.
But still plug if in case जल्दी हो गया. So you can do 2-3 plugs and tell me जब डालने से पहले पूछ लें कौन सा वाला plug रखना है.
No, the main plug is I'm doing the Edinburgh Fringe this year, which is all of August. I'll be in Edinburgh and doing my stand-up show every night, and that's a lot of shows in Edinburgh, Scotland. So I need audience.
Which is a very blue city, by the way.
In the sense?
It's like it's one of those cities where it's slightly depressed. The city.
Depressed. Acha. Yeah, I'm sure during the comedy festival, it's hopefully not. That's the point.
And when is this happening?
All of August. So the whole of August, I'm in Edinburgh, Scotland. It's the biggest comedy festival in the world. There's like 10,000 plus comedians, I think. And so I have to perform every night. I do my show. So if you're planning a trip to the UK, come to Scotland, Edinburgh. It's the most random plug you will see. And also London. I'm doing London again at the end of August. So these are shows. And then from September, I'll be touring India again. The same show I've been touring, but one last time. And I hope to do some bigger venues. So I'll go all across India again. Right now, if this comes out early, I'm doing Mumbai and Bangalore in July. But if it comes out later,
you'll get the August and September bit.
Yeah, perfect. I need that.
Look at the people look at their faces. Do you think the reliance that it will come out this month?
I have honestly no expectation. I've done enough podcasts to know that the early plug is going to be cut. It'll be left on the edit floor.
Yeah, it takes. But it takes one and a half months.
You'll have your own cycle of content and where
yes,
this
that
will plug
and also
in, things will move around. That's fine. So yeah, September I'm touring India again, and I'll do all the cities that I've missed this time, and it'll be the same shows. If you've seen it, it's the same show. But if you've seen it 6 months back, you'll forget. I know no one. The beauty is the gift and the curse of comedies. In audiences are only half paying attention, and so while we hate that at the time, it gives you repeat watch value. So come back.
And you watch your favorite shows, you discover something.
Yeah, and invariably, when I'm touring India again, I would have done the Edinburgh Fringe for a month. I would have done this show every night for a month. So it will change. You can't not change.
Will not keep you as an
Yeah.
I don't want your experience to be that he came here and then you missed the flight. When is the flight?
I can't miss flights. I'm one of those super early to the airport people.
When is your flight?
It's at 5.
Man, you will never have. I thought his flight. My assumption was that his flight is 3:30.
No. I have a call to take, so that's the other thing. But I just like to be.
Yeah, I know. It's very enjoyable to go there early, go to the lounge, work on something.
Yeah.
Much better than constantly traveling, the anxiety that I'm going to miss the flight. I will never reach.
I can never do that.
Yeah.
I like to be.
I would never be able to do that.
Yeah.
Yes, the mics.
There's no formal goodbye or anything.
No, nothing like that. That feels. करना चाहिए क्या हमें ऐसा हम नहीं करते क्या अच्छा नहीं लगेगा.
Goodbye.